Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Afika Atira and I will talk about income classification. First, B14, also known as bottom 40% or lower class. Their household income is less than 4,850 ringgit per month. B14 group also eligible to receive assistance from the government, such as BSH or BPR. Second, M14. M14, known as middle class or middle 40% group. M14 also, their house income are between 4,851 ringgit to 10,970 ringgit per month. M14 also eligible to receive the assistance from the government. Lastly, T20. T20, known as top 20% or upper class. Their household income exceeds from 10,000 ringgit, 10,971 ringgit a month. Finance Minister said T20 are also eligible to receive BPR or BSH when they experience a reduction on their income.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Siti Shafika binti Naafri. As we all know, every issue must have a root cause. So, I am going to explain about the causes of the high cost of living impact on income classification. There are three causes, which is taxes, utilities, and housing costs. The first one is taxes. There are two types of taxes, which is direct and indirect taxes. What will happen if the tax rates are raised? A tax increase reduces disposable income by taking money out of households. When disposable income falls, households have less money to spend and save, forcing consumers to consume less and become more frugal. This is the point at which the raising cost of living begins, especially for B40 group. Utilities also a contributor to Malaysians' rising cost of living. Utilities bills included internet usage, water bills, electricity bills, mobile phone bills, and gas are critical services that contribute significantly to economic and social development. Recently, due to rising prices of utility bills, especially electricity bills, have become a hot topic. It is safe to assume that some Malaysian households had depleted their financial reserves in order to pay their outstanding electricity bills during the MCO. Lastly, housing cost is the main contributor to Malaysians' rising cost of living. Since 2016, house prices have begun to rise. The pandemic of COVID-19 is also a factor in rising house prices. Not only have house prices rising, but also have rents. As a result, some residents are unable to pay their rent because the rental price has risen and they can no longer afford it. Because of this, they were forced to get out and had no place to stay. Some people say that buying the house is better than renting. The high cost of the home deters buyers from purchasing a home. House prices in Kuala Lumpur can reach 500,000 ringgit per unit. Affordability can be defined by comparing income and home prices. The Khazanah Research Institute employs the median multiple, a global standard for calculating home affordability. This results in a median multiple of 4.3, which falls into the category of seriously unaffordable.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Jiha. I am gonna explain about the positive and negative impact of high cost of living on income classification. There are two positive impact. First, one of the advantage of a high cost of living is that the change to get career and business opportunity is huge. In most cities, the cost of living correspond to pay levels. International brand and enterprise love to invest in a huge city where the company is blooming. Those enable country like Malaysia to offer more job opportunity to their citizens. Secondly, healthcare. Most the country with high cost of living has a healthcare system that is thought to be of good quality. The healthcare index is usually high despite the high expense of living, since the government has put in place a plan, build, develop and maintains public healthcare system. This show that people who live in a city with high cost of living has a good quality of healthcare, as it is overseen by the government in daily basis. So there are two negative impact. First, one of the disadvantage of a high cost of living is that it can lead to bribery, which is at the root of corruption. The rising cost of living make it more difficult for a person to maintain a certain quality of living. A person who engage in bribery receive quick cash in order to maintain his way of living. Second, increased living costs not only make life more difficult for individuals, but they are also lead to an increase in mental health issue. It should come as no surprise that these issues are the leading causes of alcohol misuse, suicide and mental disease.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Eliana. I will present about the solution of high cost living impact on income classification such as B40, M40 and T20. First, how to solve the citizen utilities issue. Government have to fund subsidies to Tenaga Nasional Berhad, or we call it as TNB. This is to help company in reduce price on utilities bill customer. Because during the pandemic, most of citizen job have been affected and they get small income. After that is about to solve the solution in housing cost. Nowadays, housing cost mostly reach to 500,000. Government need to contribute fund on Prima housing project for citizens who want to buy house in low cost price. Then, other swasta company housing project. Besides, government can also help to reduce percentage of homeless people in country by providing subsidies for program perumahan rakyat, or we call it as PPR, which this can help homeless people rent a house in low cost price.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Uzman Maisara binti Fikri. So now I will continue the solution of housing costs. Other than Rumah Prima and program Perumahan Rakyat, the government also provide the flat PPR and Rumah Mesra Rakyat. There are two types of PPR house, which are PPR owned and PPR rent. The PPR rent offer rental payment as low as RM124 per month. PPR owns aims to enable the low-income group to have the opportunity to have their own home at a price of RM35,000 Malaysia per unit in Peninsula Malaysia and RM42,000 Malaysia per unit in Sabah and Sarawak. Meanwhile, Rumah Mesra Rakyat offered to the people who have land. It is help low-income group to have an opportunity to get their own dream house and comfortable living with their family, so that the government offered them subsidies up to RM20,000 Malaysia. So next is the solution for the taxes that impact living costs, which each treat the poor and the rich differently. The higher income level such as T20 has to bear large amount of taxes than the lower income level like B14. So to be fair, T20 should be charitable to society who are in B40 and M40 group. It has helped to T20 to reduce amount of taxes. However, it is actually give benefits to all parties because it also help the low income level to have extra money source to survive. For example, T20 should do charity for education purpose, so that the children of the poor will have a quite better preparation for school. So that's all the solution for the high cost living.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Narifah Kamnabitur Rashidi. So for the conclusion, there are many ways we can do in order to cope with the ever-changing increase of living costs. We may think increase in living costs is normal, but to some others, it may be chores. A wise man once said, money is the root of evil. Money should never be the master of anyone. Money should be spent wisely for the good and the necessary. In Malaysia, the perceived increase in the cost of living has been the subject of ongoing debate and discussion even during the country's current period of low and stable inflation. Therefore, concerns about the rising cost of living are influenced by several factors that has been discussed earlier, namely taxes, utilities, and housing price.